Picture a night sky with no light pollution. Just you, a small fire, and the dark pressing in from every direction. You hear something move beyond the edge of the firelight. Your body tightens before you even decide to be afraid. And in that moment, the most important thing in your world is not the predator out there in the shadows, it's the people sitting beside you. Because alone, in that ancient world, you were already as good as dead. And somewhere in that simple truth lies the answer to a question that haunts you today. In a world full of screens and notifications and thousands of so-called friends, why does loneliness still hurt so much, even when you're never truly alone? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand that the ache you feel at 2 a.m. isn't weakness. It's a message that's tens of thousands of years old. Let's go back. For most of human history, you did not live in a house with a locked door. You lived in a small band, maybe 20 people, maybe 50. The same faces you woke up to were the same faces you fell asleep near, season after season, year after year. There were no strangers, not really. Everyone knew your name, your skills, your moods, your weaknesses. And that closeness wasn't sentimental. It was the price of staying alive. You didn't hunt alone. You didn't raise children alone. You didn't serve was to face the cold, the dark, and the teeth in the night with nothing but your own 2 hands. So imagine what banishment meant back then. If you broke the rules badly enough, if you betrayed the trust of the group, you could be pushed out, not killed, just sent away. And in that world, being sent away was almost the same as a death sentence. A single human wandering the wilderness without a tribe rarely lasted long. This is the world your brain was built for, not the city, not the phone in your pocket. This one, the fire, the faces, the constant, unspoken question every social creature had to answer. Am I still one of them? Am I still safe inside the circle? So your ancestors developed something remarkable, a kind of inner alarm system tuned not just to lions and cliffs, but to belonging itself. Think about that. Your nervous system learned to treat the loss of connection as a genuine threat to your life, because back then it was. Researchers who study this often point out something striking. The same parts of the brain that light up when you feel physical pain also stir when you feel rejected or excluded. In other words, your brain processes a social wound a little like a physical injury. Being left out can register almost like being hurt, and that makes perfect sense when you remember the fire and the dark. Pain exists to keep you from danger. If touching something hot didn't hurt, you'd burn yourself constantly. So your body learned to make rejection hurt too. So you'd work hard to repair the bond, to apologize, to fit back in, to stay close to the people who kept you alive. Loneliness, then, was never meant to torment you. It was meant to move you, to pull you back toward the warmth of other people before the cold could take you. This is why shame feels so heavy, why a single cold look from someone you care about can ruin your whole day, why the fear of embarrassing yourself in front of a group can feel almost physical. Your brain isn't being dramatic. It's running an ancient program that whispers, if they turn away from you, you might not survive. Now here's the strange part. That program never got the memo that the world changed. For nearly all of human existence, life looked like that fire in the dark. The modern world, with its cities and cars and glowing screens, is barely a blink in that long story. Your brain is still, in many ways, the brain of someone who lives or dies by their tribe. So let's talk about now, about you. Think about lying in bed at night, scrolling through other people's lives. Photos of dinners you weren't invited to, trips you didn't take, groups of friends laughing without you. and that quiet, sinking feeling in your chest. Your brain is reacting as if you've been left behind by your tribe, as if you've been pushed outside the circle, into the cold. Even though, in reality, you're lying safely in a warm bed, looking at strangers you'll never meet. Or think about sending a message to someone and watching it sit there. Read, no reply. That little spike of anxiety, that need to check again and again. Your brain is reacting as if a member of your band has turned their back on you, as if your place in the group is suddenly uncertain, even though it's just a phone and a busy person and probably nothing at all. Think about walking into a room full of people you don't know. The way your body tightens, your thoughts racing, suddenly aware of your hands, your face, how you might be seen. Your brain is scanning for whether these strangers are friend or threat, even though no one in that room can banish you to die in the wilderness. Or consider the loneliness that sits underneath a crowded life. You might have hundreds of contacts, dozens of conversations a day, endless content to consume, and still feel hollow. That's because your ancient brain isn't asking how many people you can reach. It's asking a deeper question. Who would sit beside you at the fire? Who truly knows you? 1,000 shallow connections don't quiet that question. Your nervous system was tuned for a small number of deep, steady bonds. The kind where people know your name, your moods, your weaknesses, and stay anyway. When those are missing, no amount of scrolling can fill the space. You can be surrounded by faces and still feel cast out. So what do you do with a brain like this, one built for a world that no longer exists? You start by stopping the fight against it. The next time loneliness rises in you, try not to treat it as proof that something is wrong with you. Treat it as a signal, an old, faithful messenger telling you that you are a creature built for connection, and you've drifted a little too far from the fire. Then ask the honest question. Not, how do I distract myself from this feeling, but who would I actually sit beside if I could? And then take one small step toward them. A call, a message that isn't just a like or an emoji, a real conversation, face to face if you can manage it. Because your brain doesn't fully register a comment or a heart icon as connection. It responds to presence, to voice, to eyes meeting yours, to the simple, ancient signal that says, you are not out here alone. And be careful with the glowing screen at night. The endless feed is designed to keep you watching, but it often feeds your brain the worst possible message, that everyone is together and you are apart. When you feel that ache, that's sometimes a sign to put the phone down and reach for something real, even if real feels harder. Understand, too, that some loneliness is simply part of being human. There will be seasons when the fire feels far away. That doesn't mean you've failed. It means the same wiring that once kept your ancestors alive is still running quietly inside you, doing exactly what it was made to do. So here is the truth to carry with you. That hollow feeling in your chest is not a flaw. It is a memory. The memory of 100,000 nights around a fire, of a species that survived only because it could not bear to be apart. When you feel lonely, you are feeling the pull of every ancestor who ever needed someone beside them in the dark. You are not broken. You are being called home, toward other people, the way you always have been. And loneliness is only one of these ancient signals living inside you. Fear, shame, boredom, the hunger for status, the restlessness that won't let you sleep. Each one is a message from a world we left behind, still trying to keep you alive. We'll sit with those by the fire another night. For now, Just remember, the ache means you were built to belong, and that part of you is still waiting patiently for you to find your way back to the circle.